Going on, guys, and welcome back to our Let's Play here on the Amplified Console Edition. Now, today we're going to be working on a fully automatic pumpkin farm. Oh, wrong view. There we go. But before we head on to, well, as you can see, my inventory is full of supplies to actually carry on with that project right now. But I'm going to head over here to where we put Dave in the last episode. And I had to do quite a lot of tinkering around with him. I did raise him up on top of a iron trapdoor, and I actually pushed a couple of glass blocks down because he was still tracking the villagers and they were constantly running away. And yeah, they have actually been, they're not farming for some reason, which I don't understand why. But they have been producing hearts, and they have been actually producing baby villagers, which have been making it all the way through to the system. But I have no idea why they've just stopped farming. Unless their inventory's full. Yes, I've noticed as well, there's been no updates whatsoever to the Xbox One edition, as you all well probably know, due to the fact that the only updates coming out for future console versions regarding the Xbox is going to be for the Bedrock edition. Now, even if I want to convert over to the Bedrock edition, I attempted about 10 times before this episode's recording now to convert my world, and it got to about 30%, and every single time at 30% it just dashboarded me. So yeah, it's just a complete no-go for me with the conversion at the moment. I don't know what's causing it. Maybe it's something in my world that I've built that's causing it, but yeah, I tried, and it's always around about the 30 to 40% mark where it's converting, it completely syncs, starts converting, and then it just dashboards me. Now, there's been no updates to the Xbox One version whatsoever, but somehow, even without an update, they've managed to introduce a bug, unless there's been an automatic update that my Xbox done without me noticing. Now, as you can see, I've had to build a little stairs up to the top chest, because now I used to be able to access all chests from this point, but as you can see, each time I'm trying to open the top chest, it will sort of open for a split second and then automatically close. And you have to be quite high up now for some reason. It's like you have to be at least 1 block distance away for the chest to actually open. Any further and it just does that. You have to be like right up close. Now, I don't know if that was intended or if that's just something that is a bug that they've unintentionally put in, but it sort of messed around with my storage room design quite a lot, because obviously I don't want to keep this step platform going up because it's hard to spot where you're putting stuff, especially if it's below the eyesight of the actual stairs. Now, I know because I put everything away and I know exactly where everything is and where everything goes. But yeah, it's slightly annoying because it's just a really random thing to add to the game, that you have to be a certain distance away. It used to be about 3 or 4 blocks away that you'd be able to open a chest from. Like from here, which is what, 1, 2, yeah, it's about 3 or 4. But now you have to be only about 1 block distance away, like I have to go all the way up to the edge to be able to open it. But yeah, it's really bugged me, that thing, because I don't want my storage room to look like that. Still haven't done anything about the ceiling design, still working on that in creative. But today, our pumpkin farm. Now, if you're watching this and you're already on the Bedrock edition, I will show you how to build a pumpkin farm, a fully automatic one, in around about 3 or 4 seconds. So let's say do that. Let's grab my inventory's full already. I've not even started yet. Grab that, just throw that down there. Grab you, throw you there, break you, and then say grab Another random block there. Get some redstone dust. Clonk clonk. Get rid of you. Now I prefer having more areas for the plants to go rather than where they can grow to. I think the odds of having one plant spot, like one pumpkin plant, able to land on 3 different spots is a lot less likely than one of the 2 pumpkin plants. My God, messing up my words completely today. Proper mush mouth. The pumpkin plants, I prefer having more of them than the spots that they can actually grow. So that way, one's more than likely going to grow on the spot that you want it to. So yeah, this is literally the design that you need for the Bedrock Edition. Now, unfortunately, the observer blocks don't work the same way that they do in Bedrock Edition. So if I do it, we'll send an infinite loop going round. So you'll just get that constantly, but in the Bedrock Edition, it'll work no problem. Because, there we go. The pulse of the observer block isn't as quick as it is on the console edition. So we're a lot closer to the PC version on the console edition than we are to the Bedrock edition with their redstone workings. But yeah, that's how simple it would be to make a pumpkin farm on Bedrock edition, just in case you was watching this episode and you was wondering. But the design that we're actually going to be doing today, I've designed it around trying to fit it into this tower, to be honest with you. It's more made to fit rather than made for workability. So I'm using, it's a fully automatic design, but I'm using a sort of bud switch, but it's a observer activated bud switch. So we go there and there. Now we want at least 2 block gap underneath us. So we bring it over here, we bring it over here, and then we want 1, 2, 3. Break that. Get rid of these. Let me punching it, it's a lot quicker. Okay, so that's going to be where our pumpkins are going to be growing. The center ones are going to be the spots where they're growing on. So if we have we've got some actual scaffolding blocks on us. Okay, so these are going to be our normal pistons, which is excellent. And then what we're going to be doing is to get around the observer block, send in 2 pulses. This by being triggered by the piston below pushing the pumpkin off, is that we're actually going to be moving the observer block itself, and that gets around it activating twice when we don't want it to. So we want an observer, observer. Cute. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. And then I'm trying to remember off by heart because I've literally only just ran this through in my redstone test world around about 5 minutes ago. And I think then we actually want some building blocks, don't we? So you want you, and then to get around it sending out 2 pulses when it comes back. You also want a bit of redstone there, there and there. And then we also want some repeaters. Say you there, you there, you there. And then we want them on all 4 ticks. And then we want a bud switch at the back area. So let's grab some more scaffolding blocks. Oh, you know what, I'm going to have to come down center here, it's a lot easier. Okay, so you want to go down I'm trying to remember what goes where from this angle. See? Okay, so let's say you go there, then sticky piston, and then normal block, and then we want get rid of you, go away now, say you, and then you want you. We want this redstone dust to be active, so let's grab. I'm going to be using redstone torches instead of using levers, mainly because I thought I was going to be a lot more constrained on the amount of room, but I've actually got quite a bit of room here, but at least that will help me get up and down whilst building it. Now, let's get rid of that scaffolding. Okay, that's pretty much the design. Now, what will happen is if we actually had any pumpkins, it would help. Fingers crossed we've got some in our chest over here. Nope. How about you? Of course not. Why would we? How about you? Pumpkin is food, so yeah, there we go. We don't need that many. And you know what? Just give me two. Two will be fine. Just so I can show you how it all works. Oh, come on, run, will ya? Okay, so quickly scaffold back up there. Okay, torch, you can stay there. Now, our pumpkin plants are going to be planted either side of here. We're going to have water streams coming down in each of the corners. So let me just, come on, there we go. So in each of these corners, that one there, there's going to be one on the other side over there, and another one just over here coming straight down. That will hydrate all of the blocks. I'm going to be adding some light sources in as well. I could probably throw some glowstone in, I don't know, probably somewhere like there and there, just to cover the light completely. But yeah, so either side of this is going to be the pumpkin plants, and then what is going to happen, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, what is going to happen is that all three of these will activate at the same time when one does, because that will then activate this piston up here, kicking it down to then activate all 6 of the pistons, pushing everything out at the same time, like that. And then, yeah, so when one goes off, they will all go off, which means it's not the most efficient, but it will be fully automatic, and don't do that. It will be fully automatic and work the way that I want it to, with it fitting in here. Now I'm hoping to get at least around about, let me see, how tall is this thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hoping to get at least 5, maybe 6 modules in. I've left a gap at the bottom to allow for a collection area. Now, depending on how many I can fit into this one tower here, I may go ahead and build a replica one of this. Let me get rid of some blocks I don't actually need. Like that doesn't need to be there. That doesn't need to be there. That doesn't need to be there. Yeah, and that all looks fine. And then there we go. Yeah, so depending on how many of these I actually fit into this space, I'm hoping to get at least 5 or 6. I may do a replica farm on this side for melons instead of pumpkins. So then that way we could be producing both, getting ready for our villagers to be trading with. But yeah, that's the design in a nutshell. It's quite simple, very basic. It's very, very similar to your basic bud switch design for the pumpkin farms that there is a lot of versions out there for. But for it to fit in this sort of space and to have the amount of possible growing spots that I wanted for it to be in this type of a space, I had to design it around my needs rather than around a more efficient design. But yeah, it's hopefully it all comes out well. But I won't take you through the boring process of building that another 5 or 6 times over there and probably another 5 or 6 times over there. I'll make a cut now. I'll bring you back once it's all been built in, and I'll show you the finished product. So I guess I will see you shortly. Welcome back, guys. It's been a good hour to 2 hours so far. But yeah, I managed to get both sets done in each thing. Obviously, you can't see it's all blocked off up here, which I'm quite happy about because, to be honest with you, it doesn't look all that nice, but they're going to be tucked away in the corners. Now, as you can see, the sort of like glitchy melon thing, this is not going to be a lossless farm in the least. But it's definitely a fully automatic and it definitely works 100%. Now, I'm not too sure how many levels I've managed to get done in each one. That one over there is obviously melons, as you probably could see by the glitchy falling mechanism. This one is pumpkins, and already it's literally only been about 20 minutes since I planted them, and already got 16 pumpkins out of it, so can't be doing too badly. Let's quickly count how many platforms it is. So you've got one, oh, and already falling. 1, 2, really? You got to be kidding me. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's 5 in total in each side. Now the top section, because I've had to have the water coming down, I wasn't able to get the repeaters or the redstone on top of this set of observer and pistons, which means the top section is only going to be activated by the front piston over there. And that's the same for either side because we reached the top of the ceiling, and just through here we've got our ridiculously complicated firework farm, which I haven't got round to tearing down yet because it still currently works, which is a good thing, I guess. But yeah, actually hold on, before I forget, let me enable automatic saving, because I haven't saved it for a while. So just to get rid of the little lag spikes that was bugging me. But yeah, so I managed to get the water coming down, so all of them's irrigated. I did manage to get a torch on top of this block here, which is in each section, which obviously the piston blocks are transparent blocks they're counted as. So the lighting on each one is a good 8 or 9 from the torch, because the torch is only like 1 block away from it. So everything's well lit, everything's irrigated fine, and there you go. It's all working, no problem. So that's how simple it is to create a... So definitely not a lossless when it comes to the melon, but the melons you get so many of and then you have to convert them. I'm not really too fussed. I'm half tempted though, after I've got a decent supply of melons, just to swap this over to a pumpkin farm as well. Just because they're easier to handle and you don't have to go through the trouble of recrafting them back into melons. But yeah, I really need to get rid of this temporary ladder that I've thrown up, because otherwise it is going to bug me. Get rid of you, get rid of you, break you. I didn't break anything valuable. It doesn't look like it. I'll do that. Yeah, so that's our fully automatic pumpkin and melon farm. Now, if you're on the Bedrock edition, like I showed you at the beginning of the episode, the farm for automatic melons and pumpkins is about 1,000 times easier. Now, I did test around in a redstone test build on the Bedrock edition to double check it all, and it works 100% fine the way that I showed you beforehand, and that is what made me attempt to do the file conversion over to it. But yeah, as you could see, it did not go well for me at all. It's like 30-40% every single time without fail would just completely knacker it. But
yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. I wanted to end the episode off by activating our fireworks, but I'm not too sure where the button is. I've completely forgotten where I've put it, to be honest with you. Um, let's just have a look up here. See if we can't see anywhere that we've put a button. Um, okay, the clocks. There should be a button somewhere. These are all just reset buttons for me to manually reset it if I have to. But I did put a button that led down to, I think it was here. Just in case this goes horribly wrong, I'm going to do that, but I'm just going to manually do it from here. Yeah, and that should start setting it off. So, and yep, that's our ceiling. There's our button. Drop through. So then we can end it off with some fireworks if we manage to get our elytra launcher going. There we go. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Hopefully that if you're still playing on console or PS4 version, oh, apparently fireworks hurt you if they hit you. If you're still playing on the console editions, then feel free to use the design if you want to. And if you're on the Bedrock edition, it is a hell of a lot more simpler, obviously. But yeah, I've had fun today, and I'm glad I've got both them farms up and running now. The next episode, I'm not too sure. I think that we need to head over to our project chest after this fireworks show is finished. It's nice just flying around in it. We very rarely get to use the fireworks. Mainly because they're such a pain to fly. Such a shame they're such a pain to use because I do love the effect that they give. Ouch. Unless they hit you in the face. Yeah, and that's the fireworks show done. Okay, so let's head over to our our project giver. Now that we've got the melon and pumpkin farms out of the way. Let's fly on over here. Now we can get rid of this silly little pumpkin patch that we've got down here. I've been dying to get rid of this thing. It drives me insane. It just does not look nice, and it's just taken away from the aesthetics of the little cottage build that we got over here. Quickly just tear these down. I did have to make another axe, and it's nowhere near. It hasn't got the sharpness 5 on, which I'm not unhappy about. Which I'm not happy about. Hasn't got efficiency 5 on either. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have to upgrade. My words are getting so muddled up today. It's late in the evening for me, and clearly you can see that nighttime doesn't bode well for me once it starts getting on a bit. But yeah, it's hopefully the water sorts itself out. Quite happy I got the pumpkin farm out of the way with, because it was one that I was dreading actually coming out the project giver. There's another one which I'm dreading that will come out, which I've got a fairly bad feeling that it is going to come out, which is going to be the automatic villager farms, because they never seem to work out too well for console versions compared to the PC editions, which is a shame, but it means that I'm going to have to do a lot more playing around with villagers, which I really don't want to have to do. I'm fed up of villagers, to be honest, for now. But let's head up to the village, and village to our cottage. We'll have a quick look. Fingers crossed. I'm actually hoping it's the pirate ship. I've been dying for that one to actually turn up. Regarding the Woodlands Mansion ones, I'm not too sure if I'll be too happy about that because I have absolutely no idea what I'm meant to be doing for that. But let's see. And Auto Villager Farms. Really? The one thing I did not want to come up and it's came up. Ah, great. Um, uh, do you know how tempted I am actually just to do like a cut before I've actually got over there and just keep on re-recording this bit until a project comes out that I wanted to do. But yeah, the Auto Villager Farms, I initially planned for them to be up here. So then that way it will be a lot easier to feed them down into our villager sorter where we can just trade the goods. But it means getting a couple of... Oh look, there goes the love hearts. They appear to be happy again. But it means getting some villagers up here, which means I'm going to have to probably transport some of the ones that we put down in our trading hall. How many farmers have we got down there? So we don't want to get rid of too many farmers, but obviously if we have to move them, farmer, blacksmith, he could be one of the ones that goes up top, that they could throw the food to. So 2 farmers, 3 farmers. Another blacksmith that could go up top. He is a farmer. He's a brown coat, but obviously he's not got a farmer trade, so he's definitely going to be going up top. And so we've got 4 farmers, so I'll throw 2 of the farmers, probably them 2, up top, along with the 2 blacksmiths to run a... What I think I want to run is just a potato and carrot farm. I'm not too sure about the wheat farm. I think having the melons, pumpkins, carrots and potatoes all fully automatic and feeding down into the villager breeder sorter area would be more than enough for our trading needs. But yeah, that looks like what is going to be on the agenda for the next episode. But for today, that is going to be it from me. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you have and it's your first time to the channel, please consider subscribing for future Minecraft content. And I will hopefully see you all in the next one. Bye bye.